Well, the fact of the matter is the president could close the border today if he wanted. President Trump demonstrated how to bring it down. But if you look at this bill, what they think is an emergency is actually a catastrophe if you're talking about 5,000 encounters along the border. So giving the president the authority is not an issue here. The president has the ability to do what he needs to do to bring this under control. He just doesn't want to do it because he wants open borders. We heard that from Yvette Clarke, the congresswoman from Brooklyn, when she said she needed more illegal immigrants for redistricting purposes. And that's part of the problem with this bill, is that we don't have a lot of faith the president's actually going to do the things in it. And the bill also, frankly, gives the president the ability to waive the emergency. So why would we, he's already not doing his job, why would we pass a bill where we'd actually say, oh, it's okay for you to waive the emergency?
Yeah.
Among other things that are problems, like it doesn't really fix the parole problem, where he's abusing parole to allow 1.2 million people last year into this country when parole is supposed to be used on a case-by-case basis. And in years past, an average of 5,600 people were let, and he's doing 1.2 million. So, you know, we just don't have a lot of faith in this president because he isn't doing his job now. He doesn't absolutely have to have this stuff to do it. There are some good things in it, but not enough to offset the fact that this bill doesn't get the job done.
Yeah, I guess the other side of the argument is that it would give a potential Republican president a lot more power when it comes to the southern border next November if Donald Trump or Nikki Haley win the White House. Let's get back to this bill that you're going to vote on in just a few hours. So again, I imagine you haven't seen the specific text of this Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan only bill.
That is correct. We'll have to see what the text of that bill is and what Chuck Schumer has in mind. It could just be the things that were already in the bill that were presented already. You know, and that bill is actually really a big investment in our defense industrial base. In many ways, a lot of those dollars are actually going to be to create American jobs by making sure we're strengthening our defense industries. But as you know, some of the things that were also in there that we got to make sure remain, for example, is make sure that none of the money that we're providing in aid is going to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for the Palestinians in the Near East, or otherwise known as UNRWA.
Okay.
That's a corrupt organization. No American taxpayer dollar should go that. I want to ban funding to that forever, permanently. That's what my Stop Support of Hamas Act does.
Right.
Previous bill did say that none of this money would go to it, which is a step in the right direction. So that would be another condition, is that's got to be in there, or we're probably not going to have a deal on this bill.
Senator, I guess I'm just a little bit confused because before Christmas, the narrative from Republicans was, look, we're not going to give Ukraine another penny. We support the war effort in Ukraine. What Vladimir Putin is doing is wrong and horrific, and he's been doing it now for almost exactly 2 years. But we need something done on the southern border to move forward with. By the way, this would be a win for Biden. $60 billion is a year's worth of funding for Ukraine. So he doesn't have to worry about this for the next 9 months while he campaigns for the White House. You'd be handing him a victory while also giving money to Taiwan and Israel. But why didn't you just do this before Christmas if this is where it's going to end up? What Democrats wanted all along. Nothing on the border, $60 billion for Ukraine. That's where we are right now.
Well, actually, my position has always been that we need to support Ukraine, that we need to support Israel, and that we need to be investing to deter China from taking Taiwan by force. So my position on this has been very consistent, that I believe those things. It was the president who rolled this all together. And frankly, I'm very comfortable with breaking these apart, voting them on these individually. Frankly, getting back to regular order where we have an opportunity to vote on bills individually, offer amendments. That's the way things are supposed to work. And unfortunately, Chuck Schumer keeps breaking the system. The president is complicit in this. It's a bad way to do business. But we are where we are. And frankly, we've got to make sure that Ukraine does not fall to this dictator, Vladimir Putin.
Just about 15 seconds. Are you a yes or no vote if this comes to the floor today?
Well, I got to see what the text of the bill is first. So I can't vote on something without reading it.
Doesn't it seem like Chuck Schumer has been pretty effective at manipulating Republicans, especially if this thing passes today?
Well, I don't know that you can say that. If you look at just what a disaster Chuck Schumer has been, I mean, if you think about our appropriations bills, we passed 3 out of 12, and the deadline was September 30th of last year. He's just got a mess going on here, and I don't know that that's manipulating Republicans.